very nice to be here. I'm Rhod. I'm from Wales. The sheep noise. You thought you'd do a little sheep noise, did you, madam? I don't care who it was. I just don't understand the thinking of people who do sheep noises. What goes through your mind? You think that guy's Welsh. He shags sheep. I will do my best to pretend to be a sheep. Two things go through my mind. Either one, you're a sheep, playing a very risky game. Or two, you're an Englishman pretending to be a sheep, which in many ways is a much riskier game. Would you not agree? You laugh, you make your sheep noises. You have no idea, do we have any Welsh people in? Hey! No. Nobody cheers and punches the air when they're Welsh. Nobody Welsh has ever cheered and punched the air, madam, about it. I've been doing this job too long. You can't fool me. I've been doing this job 4 years. In the old days, I would come out sometimes. I would say, is there anyone from Wales? And somebody would cheer, and I would naively assume that person was, in fact, Welsh. That was a long time ago. I've since learned my lesson. I now realise that when I'm from Wales, I say I'm from Wales. People from other countries cheer because they're not Welsh. It's almost involuntary, it's spontaneous, it just bursts out, it's relief. I come out, I say, I'm from Wales, somebody goes, yes! I say, are you Welsh? No, mate, you are! You have no idea how tough it is, do you? You have no idea, do you? Look, you have no... I was 8 before I realised you could take a cagoule off, madam. Over your head, I had no idea, did you know that? I had no idea. In the Bible, God made it rain for 40 days and 40 nights. That is still the best summer on our record, ladies and gentlemen. There was a hosepipe ban that year. I've got webbed fingers. That wasn't supposed to elicit that much laughter, to be honest. There it is. Look, there you go. Can you see that? Can you see that? Don't recoil in horror, you. It's just because I'm Welsh. We've evolved to cope with the bloody damp. It's not a big deal. This is nothing. I got friends back home who can pass for Scampi, if you're interested in that. You hold my nephew to your ear, you can hear the sea if you listen carefully. It's all right for you. You come from Australia, don't you? Paradise, isn't it? Paradise, you know, isn't it? Do you know that they're worried about climate change? People were asking me in Australia, are you worried about climate change? I'm Welsh. Bring it on. Oh, but the sea may warm up by a couple of degrees. I'm thinking, great, next summer I can go swim without a fucking hat and scarf. It'll be lovely. I've escaped from Wales now, ladies and gentlemen. I've escaped from Wales. I live here in London, you know. You know, I always wanted to escape. I never wanted to do this, though. I never thought that I'd be doing stand-up comedy here in London. I never wanted to... Nobody ever does the job they dream of doing when they're a kid, do they? Do they? Nobody, does anybody here do the job that they dreamt of as a child? No, I was looking more for the yeses, really, to be honest. And those people answering on behalf of the whole friggin' audience, I know. Yeah, nobody does. I've only met one woman. I asked her, I said, do you do that? She said, yes. I said, what do you do? She said, I'm a midwife. I said, did you always dream of being a midwife, even when you were a little girl? She said, yes. I thought, that's hot. That is quite odd, isn't it? When I was a little boy, I'd walk down the street and I'd hold my mother's hand, you know, walk past a big building, you think, Mummy, I want to work in there on the top floor, I want to be the president of that company. You'd see a plane, you think, Mummy, I want to fly that plane. Midwife. What did that little girl look up and see? Mummy, I could pull something out of that. I wanted to join the Navy. That's what I wanted to do, actually, if I'm truthful. I wanted to join the Navy when I was a little boy. I always thought I'd escape from Wales, see the world like my granddad, join the Navy, go somewhere drier. I thought I'd start with the sea. And I heard an advert on the radio last year. It ran and ran. It shattered my dreams. Some of you will remember this advert, right? They were trying to persuade you to become a chef in the Royal Navy, right? And it got me very confused. It put me off. I realised I could never join. It said, can you fry an egg? Can you fry? I remember the first time I ever heard that advert and I thought, no. No, I can't. Maybe the Navy's not for me. And then it said, could you fry an egg on a boat? I thought, no. Then it said, could you fry an egg on a boat in a storm? I thought, no. I thought, to be honest, you're not making this any easier. In some ways, it's getting more difficult to fry this fucking egg of yours. In fact, maybe you're talking to the wrong person, or maybe you're looking for somebody who said yes to the first question. And then it got very confusing, it drove me, went nuts. He said, could you fry 200 eggs for 200 hungry sailors on a boat in a storm while you're being bombed by the enemy? And I thought, no. The answer's still no, mate. The answer's still, but then I thought it hit me in the brain. I thought, maybe I could do scrambled eggs. Well, let's face it, they've practically made themselves by this point. I thought, is anybody going to mind? Is anyone really going to mind if I bring out scrambled eggs instead of fried eggs tonight? You know, there's a battle going on. Is the Navy going to kick off if I suddenly this slight change to the menu? It's scrambled eggs instead of fried eggs. Is everybody going to go mad if I bring out I thought, come to think of it, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about dinner at all. Maybe we should try and fend off the enemy first. If any of us survive, we can always get a takeaway later, can't we? If it's that important.